New year, new guns. Right now is the best time to get you started in the rabbit hole that we call Airsoft. And today, I'm going to show you my top 3 favorite picks to get started in Airsoft in 2024. Everybody loves cheap-ass starter Airsoft guns. But what constitutes a starter Airsoft gun? Well, in my opinion, there are 3 factors that a starter Airsoft gun needs to meet. Number 1 is going to be the price. It needs to be affordable. And by affordable, I mean under $250. In today's economy, I think that's fairly reasonable. Number 2, it needs to be robust. It needs to be able to take a beating. I'm not saying it needs to survive a hydraulic press, but you need to be able to drop the Airsoft gun accidentally and it survive the fall, not break into a million pieces. And lastly, number 3 is going to be the performance. It needs to be field ready, okay? It needs to be able to compete or preferably outperform a rental Airsoft gun. So I'm gonna go over 3 Airsoft guns that meet all 3 of those criteria right now. First gun on my list is going to be the Spec Arms A2 M4. Now, guys, I know the name is terrible. It's not powered off of CO2. It's an AEG. That's just Spec Arms. Model name for it. Specna, come here. You couldn't have picked a better name? Like the C04? The C4? No, C4, no, that doesn't. No. Basically, it's the basic M4A1 CQB from Spec Arms. It's a basic M4. But it's kind of a vibe. You know, the Car 15 is back in style, and this is Car 15-ish. You know, I already see you type it. Stop it, okay? I know. It's like a Car 15 at home. It's on a budget. Now, externally, it's a basic M4. It's pretty standard, you know. It does have a polymer receiver, which does meet the robust factor, because newsflash, in Airsoft, a lot of polymer receivers are more durable than some metal receivers out there. But the Spec Arms polymer is nice and sturdy. It can take a beating. But getting into the rest of the gun, again, it's pretty standard. You have the metal 10-inch outer barrel with the triangle post front sight, which is metal as well. You do have the classic polymer clamshell handguard with the delta ring. Up top, you do have the carrying handle, which is made of polymer, some metal components with the rear iron sight that is adjustable for windage and elevation. But you can remove that and expose a Picatinny rail for whatever optics you want. Moving to the rear, we do have the standard stock. Yeah, it's just there, you know, it's a crane stock. It holds plenty of battery space, which is really nice. It does actually have a QD sling point here, and the regular sling point up front, so you can run the 2-point sling relatively easy, and the A2 pistol grip that we all love and hate. Now, one thing I really like about this M4 is that it is rear wired. Traditionally, in M4A1s with the clamshell, you would see it front wired, where the battery would be stored in the clamshell handguard. And trust me when I say it's a pain in the ass to get the battery installed into here. It's outdated, it's irritating, it's annoying. Rear wired is what you want, especially in an M4, where you can change out the stock to whatever you like and find a battery that better suits you. It's just better overall. Plus, if you've never installed a front wired battery, oh my goodness. Trust me when I say, I know better. I know better for your good, okay? You want rear wired. Even though this is a basic M4 out of the box, Spec Arms doesn't give you basic internals, okay? They actually give you something really nice. You do get a standard version 2 gearbox, but it has a quick change spring system. And Spec Arms includes a low power spring out of the box, so you can meet whatever field requirement FPS that you need to actually play at the field. Number 2, you get a rotary style hop-up unit, which is much more superior than a traditional dial style hop-up unit that can back out and adjust your range. It's terrible. The rotary style hop-up unit is definitely the way to go. And lastly, you get a 6.03 inner barrel. In Airsoft, that is a more precision, tighter bore diameter inner barrel that will improve your grouping and accuracy, okay? Spec Arms, they covered it all. It's super dope. I'm just saying, you have a great package here to build off of, okay? Especially with the standard version 2 gearbox, you can upgrade it with whatever you want. Different gears, a MOSFET, whatever you want to do. This is here for the long run. So if you want to get a affordable Airsoft gun and trick it out and last you your career of Airsoft, this can do it. Now, the Spec Arms CO2 M4 is lightweight and robust. It has better performance than your rental EEGs, but let's talk about the cost. Well, the Spec Arms A2 M4 retails for $159 at AirsoftJad.com, and you can use the Wombo Combo to get the best savings in Airsoft. $159! That's crazy! A GG combat machine doesn't even cost that more, and the Spec Arms CO2 has better features. I'm just saying, if you're trying to stretch your budget and be competitive on the field, the Spec Arms CO2 M4 is definitely the way to go. Climbing up from the bare bones budget, my next favorite starter airsoft gun is going to be the Arcturus LWT Mark I M4 CQB. That is a mouthful, but it has a lot to offer. Starting off, the Arcturus LWT does have a full polymer build, except for the metal where it needs to be, being the buffer tube, the trigger guard, sling plate, and the outer barrel. It is nice to have a mixture of metal and polymer to give you, a nice balance. But starting off with the handguard, we do have a 10-inch polymer M-LOK rail with Picatinny up front. It's kind of like, it's not a full M-LOK, but Arcturus, it would have been cheaper to just do full polymer, wouldn't it? Like, you had to use more material to build out, whatever. It is kind of beneficial because you don't have to worry about getting an extra M-LOK section or direct to M-LOK accessories. You can actually just get standard accessories and mount it directly onto the airsoft gun, which makes life really easy. It does have M-LOK on every position on the clock except for the top, because it does have a monolithic upper rail where you get to mount whatever accessories and optics that you want, including the included flip-up iron sight. Polymer sights. They're not iron. We use iron sights as the key phrase to say they're polymer. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Moving on to the receiver, it is a polymer receiver. And to be honest, guys, I would rather have a high quality polymer receiver like the Arcturus LWT rather than some cheap pot metal body. Okay? It's just better. Now, other accessories that you do get are going to be the crane stock, not crane stock. It's a very unique original design from Arcturus that does offer a good amount of battery space for whatever you want. And it does have a very nicely textured and uniquely angled pistol grip. It's honestly very comfortable. It does grip on the hands very nice, and it's not like as harsh as like an A2, and it's stylistic. I really like it. I think overall it's pretty cool. One thing I want to know about the polymer receiver is that Arcturus actually includes metal inserts on some of the stress points, so it increases its strength. Now, is it robust? Absolutely it's robust. Are you kidding me? They've done everything that you need to make sure that it's not gonna break on you. Solid job, Arcturus. But what about your internals? This is probably one of the rare instances where I will say, for your starter airsoft gun, do not change anything. I mean it. Do not change anything. Arcturus has done a fantastic job on all of their gearboxes. I'm talking perfectly shimmed, damn tuned compression, well greased. It shoots like a tank out of the box. It is one of the rare instances where it is actually really, really good, especially at its cost. We'll get into that later. But you do get a standard 1801 gear set, full metal rack piston, again, tuned to perfection. Like, your FPS variant is very minimal, okay? You do get a standard motor, but it is really good. You don't need to change it, okay? Now, it isn't fully version 2 upgradable. The reason being of the micro switch trigger, okay? It is the gearbox shell is made around the trigger system. But again, you don't need to change it. It's super nice. It's very tactile. It feels, not exactly, but it feels like a break of a trigger. It's super nice. You can spam the hell out of it. It feels really good. There's nothing that you need to change about it. Now, moving on to the barrel and hop-up assembly. You do get a rotary style hop-up unit, which again is better than the dial style hop-up unit of yesteryear. But the shining feature is going to be the QPQ coated steel 6.02 inner barrel. You won't get that anywhere else but Arcturus. It's actually insane. It's a high quality inner barrel that's super smooth, that will get you the range and accuracy that you really want out of the box. This barrel they sell aftermarket as an upgrade. You know it's good. They include it out of the box. What? It's solid. You don't have to do, again, do not touch the internals of this airsoft gun. You are going to make it worse. That's right, you will make it worse. Lastly, because I see it so often nowadays, I forget about it, it's becoming more of a standard feature. the Arcturus LWT does have a quick change spring system. It doesn't include the spring Arcturus, hop on that, but you do have the ability to meet the field requirements with a quick spring swap as needed. Now, does the LWT outperform rental airsoft guns? Of course it does. Are you kidding me? After all that I just listed, you're still asking that question? Of course it does. Now, the Arcturus LWT Mark I CQB M4. It's robust. Oh, it's definitely robust. It outperforms. Now, what about the price? Well, first off, Arcturus does sell the gun individually at $175 at airsoftgi.com, which is still a fantastic deal. But the big brain, the power move from Arcturus, they created a starter package. So you not only get the airsoft gun with all the features and accessories, but you get a smart charger and an 11-1 lithium ion 2000 milliamp hour battery. This is not a cheap battery, guys. This is actually insane. At 2000 milliamps, this should last you the entire day. Plus they give you the charger so you don't have to worry about finding it. It's ridiculous. And the LWT Mark I starter package retails for $220 at airsoftgi.com. And you can use the Wombo combo to get automatic free shipping and reward store credit. Hello! Did you not hear me? This is the complete package. All you need to do is grab BBs and you're good to go. It has a 500 round magazine out of the box, solid performance, robust build. It can take the accidental slip and fall, but it could probably take you falling on it. Especially me, my fat ass. I break airsoft guns. This would probably survive. It's actually insane. The value that you get, $220. Are you listening to me? For the airsoft gun, all of those amazing features, plus the battery and charger to run it, that's unheard of nowadays. I'm speechless. I don't know how number 3 is gonna beat this. It's crazy. The final gun on my list is gonna be an airsoft gun that I probably recommend to someone who already has an airsoft gun, but wants a second airsoft gun, or maybe a third or fourth, whatever, at a starter airsoft gun price. And it's going to be the Lancer Tactical LT32 Gen 3 M4. Now, let me elaborate a little bit more about what I just said, okay? If cost is going to be your number one concern when you are starting out and getting your first airsoft gun, then I would recommend going for either the Spec Arms or the Arcturus airsoft gun that I just talked about. But don't get me wrong. Don't twist my words. The Lancer Tactical Gen 3 is a primary airsoft gun through and through. It is so damn dope. And if you haven't heard about the Gen 3 line from Lancer Tactical, what rock have you been living under, okay? Let's talk about the durability. And to reiterate how durable it is, I'm going to plug this video right here, where we torture tested the Lancer Tactical Gen 3 line. We dropped it multiple times from 20 feet high. We ran it over with the car, doused it in water, set it on fire, and it survived. If that doesn't put the bust in robust, I don't know what will. But to go over the external features, we do have the solid polymer receiver, which again, can take a beating. We do have metal reinforcements and metal parts where it needs to be, being the buffer tube, the trigger guard, trigger, and the outer barrel. Very similar to the Arcturus line. But everything else you can expect to be polymer, like the full polymer M-LOK rail. So this one is full polymer at every position of the clock, except for the Picatinny like monolithic upper rail. But you can mount whatever accessories you want onto there. You can put the M-LOK Picatinny adapter for standard accessories or direct mounted accessories to M-LOK as well. You do have QD sling points on the left and right hand side of the rail, so you do have options of mounting slings, which is very nice. You do have the Gen 3 pistol grip, which is very actually comfortable, very ergonomic. Texturing, it's okay. It could be a little bit better, but the angle is really nice. It fits in the hand very comfortably and is really solid. You have the Delta stock, which does have QD sling points on the left and right hand side as well. Completely adjustable, but you do have the metal sling point as well for a traditional like hook, or the HK hook, or just like the spring-loaded clampy one. It can mount it on both left and right hand sides. Now let's get into the internals. Let me tell you something. Lancer Tactical set a new benchmark of where starter airsoft guns need to perform, okay? It is that good. They changed the game, okay? First off, you're getting a standard version 2 gearbox, but nothing is standard in here. It's actually insane. You do get a quick change spring system, a full metal rack piston, You do get the 18-1 steel gear set, which is very nice, but the most important factor is going to be the Zion Arms Nebula MOSFET, another product that we have talked about for quite some time now. It has active braking and programmability, which means you don't have to worry about getting a gearbox lockup when you're spamming in semi. Each shot will fire, okay? But programmability, if your field has specific requirements that you need to follow, as in no full auto or no burst fire, or they allow burst fire, you're able to program it with the Lancer Tactical Gen 3. You can get a semi-auto only, 2-round burst, 3-round burst, 4-round burst, up to 5-round burst in programmability out of the box. And you don't need to plug it into a computer, Bluetooth connected to the phone. It can be all done through the airsoft gun with a battery plugged in. It's so simple, it's crazy. Plus, it is wired to Dean's and is 11-1 LiPo ready. Fantastic. The trigger response and rate of fire out of the box is absolutely insane. But I said it is a standard version 2 gearbox, meaning the footprint of the gearbox is completely version 2 compatible. You can upgrade it with whatever you want to help build it and upgrade it along the way to make it an absolute beast. But it already is a beast. The Lancer Tactical Gen 3 does have a rotary style hop-up unit, which I believe is now standard in all of their Gen 2 and Gen 3 line, which is very nice. Again, better than the traditional dial style hop-up unit. I think majority of the market is moving over to the rotary style hop-up unit because of how much better it performs. But you do get a brass 6.03 tight bore inner barrel as well, which will again improve your range and accuracy compared to the stock airsoft guns or the rental airsoft guns that you can get at a field. It's actually insane. The performance that you get from the Gen 3 out of the box is, I would consider, like high-end airsoft gun performance. You don't get a lot of these features in a basic airsoft gun, especially with the MOSFET. I do think it is the best MOSFET out of the box for a long time. Now, there are other guns out there that do have an aftermarket MOSFET, but I don't really consider those the same. This one, complete package, super dope, and it definitely outperforms your rental airsoft gun. Now, to reiterate, it puts the bust in robust. Performance, it runs circles around the rental gun. You'll need 3 rental guns to compete with the Gen 3. It's that good. And now the price. Well, the Lancer Tactical Gen 3 LT32 M4 retails for $234 at airsoftgi.com. And you can use the Wombo combo to get automatic free shipping and reward store credit to get the best savings in airsoft. Now, the LT32 Gen 3 does come under that $250 price point, but at $234, it is still quite expensive, but for good reason. Again, you are getting high-end airsoft gun performance under $250, which is why I said if budget is your main concern, to go for the Arcturus LWT or the Spec Arms A2 M4. But if you're willing to invest, if you're willing to pay to play this game we call airsoft, the Lancer Tactical Gen 3 line, especially the LT32, is definitely a power move because you're getting that high-end performance out of the box without having to worry about it later on. Now again, it does not come with a battery and charger, so you will need to spend a little bit more, which would set you over the $250 price point. But in my personal opinion, I do think it is really justified and will help you play and enjoy airsoft in the long run. Alright, you guys, thank you for watching my top 3 starter airsoft guns of 2024. Is there an airsoft gun that I didn't talk about that you would recommend to your fellow airsofter? Let me know in the comments below and tell me why it's not a combat machine. That train has long left. Don't forget that you can get all of these airsoft guns at airsoftgi.com and use the Wombo combo to get the best savings in airsoft. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. We upload weekly and we're trying to show the algorithm that airsoft is a whole lot of fun. Other than that, guys, my name is Cisco and I will see you guys later.
All 3 guns, all of them M4s. Why am I not surprised?
What? You expect something different? Go ahead. Recommend me something right now.